Imagine losing your nation's most strategic port, not to war, not to tanks, but to a loan agreement. No invasion, no fire, just signatures. This is the new warfare, and debt is the weapon. For centuries, conquest meant bloodshed, soldiers on the march, flags planted in conquered lands. But today, the battlefield is quieter. In 2013, China launched the Belt and Road Initiative, a trillion-dollar plan promising infrastructure to nations in need. Roads, railways, ports, built on generous credit. But these loans weren't just financial support. They were geopolitical leverage, dressed in development. Let's look at Montenegro. In 2014, it signed a deal with a Chinese state-owned company to build a highway. Just one segment. The price? Nearly a quarter of Montenegro's entire GDP. When the payments came due, the country struggled. European institutions refused to help. China didn't. Now, China holds major leverage over its infrastructure and future decisions. In Laos, a similar story. A high-speed rail funded by Chinese loans. But now, half the country's entire external debt is owed to Beijing. The pattern is clear. The bigger the loan, the tighter the grip. This isn't a humanitarian gesture. It's not just business. It's what analysts now call debt trap diplomacy, a modern tactic of control through financial entanglement. The deal starts with promises of development, but ends with control over ports, airspace, natural resources, even national decisions. As American strategist Thomas P.M. Barnett once said, control oil and you control nations, control food and you control the people, control debt and you control everything. In Argentina, China helped fund 2 nuclear power plants, but on the condition they'd use Chinese-built reactors and Chinese labor. In Djibouti, the debt ballooned so fast that China now controls its only deep-sea port, right next to a U.S. military base. In Tajikistan, large chunks of territory were handed over to China after infrastructure-related debt disputes. These aren't side stories. They're proof of a strategy. Embed, in debt, control, without firing a single shot. Western powers are starting to notice, but much of the map has already changed. Economic alliances have shifted. Critical infrastructure has been leased away. And the debt still compounds, quietly, daily, relentlessly. The battlefield was never announced, but the war was already lost by those who didn't see it coming. Conquest no longer looks like war. It looks like contracts. It sounds like investment, and it hides behind interest rates. So ask yourself, if bullets no longer win wars, what kind of defense do nations need today?